Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. A few hours ago, the departmental government issued Decree 0106 of March 1st, which states new measures on the distancing, agglomerations on the pathway, and the use of sound amplifiers in that area.
In this decree, the departmental government prohibits the use of beaches and the development of nautical activities from 6 p.m. until 5 a.m. In addition, they will prohibit the circulation of people in the pathway of sport bike from 2 in the morning to 5 in the morning, every day from the date of publication of the decree. It also prohibits the consumption of alcoholic beverage in this sector and the use of any device that produces or amplifies sound in the pathway in general in public spaces. Regarding the hours of development of economic activities, community stores and supermarkets may work every day from 5 in the morning until 11 in the night. Restaurant services may work until midnight every day, and 24 hours establishment may not sell liquor after 11 p.m. Finally, they emphasize that all types of agglomeration are prohibited in the south end of the island, and the use of face masks is still mandatory in enclosed areas.
A video recorded the moment in which a man enters a commercial establishment, and inside a bag that he was carrying from the same place, he placed 2 bottles of liquor that were in a basket used by the employees to stock the stands. This thief, after putting the merchandise in the bag, acts as he had bought them without attracting attention and leaves the place. The video shows other possible customers in the area where the robbery occurred. We could say that in the images it's not shown that they managed to size up the actions of this man. The case was reported to the competent authorities, who with the video are conducting the relevant investigations to determine the identity of the individual. In other news, the manager of the San Pedro Claver nursing home are concerned about the poor conditions in which the only street leading to the place is in, since in the event of an emergency, there is no vehicle that can transit the road.
This road, which serves as the only entrance to the San Pedro Claver nurse home, is impassable, a situation that has not been solved. Just today, the road condition once again started to affect those who live in the nursing home after a van got stuck in one of the holes in the street, preventing it to advance to the entrance of the home to deliver some donations that were sent.
I was coming to bring some donations to the old people's home, and I didn't think that the streets were so bad, so deteriorated, and I got stuck there. I lasted an hour and a half to 2 hours. I had to call my boss to bring a jack and lift the car, because otherwise I wouldn't have taken it out. I had to carry the donation by hand, and it's already delivered. But this has to be fixed. It can't be like that. It has to be in better conditions for the ambulance and the old people who are there.
The desperation has led the board of directors to the home to address to the departmental administration, specifically the secretaries of planning and infrastructure, to solve the situation that afflicts the nurse home. According to the Sister Oliva in Capilla, on occasion the elderly have fallen in, and among their only option is to take the person in a wheeling chair to the main street to transport them to the hospital.
We went directly to the local administration, to the infrastructure portfolio, to request that they fix the road, because here we have to continually take the elderly to the hospital when an emergency arises, and we have had to take them in wheelchairs.
According to the director, no transport there is to enter because the cracks affect the vehicle.
We have a lot of difficulty, and that is why we urgently request that they take action on the matter, that the people who should come may come so that the situation can be fixed.
A letter has already been sent by the home to the local administration, and so far there is no knowledge of the process or step taken to improve the streets.
And in search of solutions to the different problems that occur in the Sprat Bike pathway area, the government analyzes measures to be implemented.
The departmental government held a meeting with representatives of ANATO chapter San Andres and Cotelco regarding the situation that occurs with great frequency in this bike pathway, such as noise pollution, time for circulation, and agglomerations.
Pues está muy bien porque hay que...
This is very good because they must be controlled so that people are calmer and there is no disorder. No battles are broken, there are no scandals, and it is as it should be.
Pienso que son indispensables algunas medidas.
I think that some measures taken by the government are indispensable because with respect to what happens here, but anyway, we must take into account that we are a tourist department and we must give a preferential treatment. From the moment the tourist enters, there should be educational campaigns such as the large signs where the tourist is told not to litter.
Me parece que sí.
It seems to me that actions should be taken because on Saturdays and Sundays, the children come and there are always fights and the tourist gets a very bad image.
A tentative schedule will be until 2 a.m. in the morning. All the measures that are proposed during the meeting are to ensure the safety and welfare of the visitors. Therefore, it is noteworthy to make mention that this meeting is the result of the relationship established during the participation of the destination in the showcase of ANATO.
In fact, we need them to extend the closing hours of the pathway. Now we are happy because they extended until 2 in the morning. What we need is more security.
Within the meeting, the possibility of increasing the presence of competent authorities in this tourist site was contemplated.
Delays in the delivery of medicines is the complaint that users of the departmental hospital present again due to the apparent absence of essential drugs for their health treatments.
Patients of the Clarence Lee Newell Departmental Hospital expressed to Teleislas News their disagreement with the deficient and delays that occur in the health center with respect to the delivery of medicines to users.
Aquí estamos peor que la anterior administración.
So far, it has been 3 months since I am waiting to receive my medications, and they still owe me one. This is a come and go. The motor taxis charge 4,000 pesos per trip, so it is a total of 8,000 pesos per trip. To come here and they don't give you anything?
In response to the situation, the director of the Departmental Social State Enterprise, Maria Bracho, explained the reasons for delaying the delivery of medicines.
Hay demora en la entrega de medicamentos.
There are delays in the delivery of medicines for chronic patients. We have problems with the delivery of medicines for diabetic patients, for hypertensive patients. Due to the national shortage of many molecules, there are several molecules that are out of stock. We have delivered with the assistance of doctors looking for a new formulation to be able to treat patients who have not been able to receive their medication. We are looking for alternatives supported by the specialists so that they can tell us what alternatives can be given to patients.
The Departmental Social State Enterprise states that it is expected that in the next few days, the storage of medicines can be replenished again to deliver the pending medicine to its users.
And due to the problem of poor disposal of solid waste by inhabitants of some sectors of the island, the departmental government began work to collect these items.
Taking into account the large amount of solid waste found in the streets of the island, such as white line waste, iron, and wood, the departmental government has initiated work to collect this waste around the island.
La Secretaría de Servicios Públicos.
Since last week, the Secretary of Public Utilities has been collecting special waste, scrap metal, and white line in the sector of San Luis, specifically in the Guinea Bay sector. The departmental administration requested the operator to provide us with a schedule of the places and points to be evacuated regarding the management and collection of special solid waste, white line, and scrap metal. Let's remember that the operator has been collecting this type of waste specifically in the critical points that have been foreseen.
The departmental government specified that these special waste collection works will be extended to different sectors of the island.
And at this time, we present the indicators of the COVID-19 situation in the department.
For today, 2nd of March, the Ministry of Health reported 2 new cases of COVID-19. That is, the island reached 10,144 cases since the pandemic began, according to data from the local government secretariat. There are 10 active cases, 9,946 recovered, 154 deceased, and the ICU occupancy is at 0%.
And now we continue with Millicent O'Neill and all the news of the municipality of Full Providence and Santa Catalina.
Good evening to everyone. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. Followers of the presidential proposal of Senator Gustavo Petro were disconcerted when they were informed that the presidential pre-candidate would not be able to enter the island.
Several followers of Senator Gustavo Petro were left waiting for the visit of the presidential pre-candidate who could not enter the municipality. According to the authorities, the permit that should have been issued by the Okra for his entrance was not proceeded by his helpers. This was the reaction of his followers after this news.
And it feels like they're so scared to the new change that is needed, because we cannot keep one government 12 years going on. The same government, the same people there.
Nosotros, we as islanders, as sovereignty of Colombia, we wanted our possible president to come here and share with us and don't use bureaucracy for these things. How many people have not entered here, senators, ministers, etc.?
It's a lack of respect for the community, for the leaders on the island, because it's 3 senators who are coming on the commission, and they are politicians. They have a right to come into the island, because a lot of people is coming into the island right now that have nothing to do with it. And I think they should do something about it.
And on the other hand, the community of Santa Catalina asked that real solutions be sought to the water problem on the sister island that has been without the precious liquid for several weeks.
Despite the progress in the reconstruction of the island of Santa Catalina, the community has been suffering from another problem for which they ask more attention. This is the lack of access to water.
They're only giving me water 1 time a month. And the problem is that me, for example, when I don't have no tank, my mother left me 1 tank, but same way 1 tank with 1,000 gallons can't suffice me 1 whole month. You have to wash, you have to cook, you have to bathe. Yeah, plus we have the workers them where they work and then not have no water for storage cement. We have to supply them with water also. Not all of them, but some of them. So we have to look water from dam for them can work. That water not good for if we cook. But same way, they're supposed to give at least 2 or 3 times for the week the water.
Some have had to buy bottles of water to be able to bathe.
Well, right now we have a big problem. Sometimes we have to buy botellon in the shop to bathe with, to cook, and to have to drink. We hardly get rain. The other day, the Balbola bus, and them they know. I tell them we no get water. And how them get to know say buses, because I tell them we no have to search to see if the Balbola no have a hole, because we no get no water. So 9 carrot tank gone right there in a sea.
On the other hand, some of them have had to resort to another strategy.
Since I don't have water, I have to go to sea first. I throw myself in the sea, and then with the little bit of water I have, I take a shower to stay cooler, because I can't use the whole bucket of water, because the next day there won't be any water.
The community asks that water can reach the island more than once a month.
This is all the information we have for tonight for this section of Old Providence and Catalina. Continue in San Andres with more Teleislas news. Good night.